Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
Honoring our veterans, it's something we should do every day. A group of bikers are on our Patriot Tour, 48 states in 100 days, carrying one flag throughout the lower 48 to honor our vets. Valley News Team's Clint DeRose shares this story.
People came together at the Harley-Davidson of Fargo to acknowledge veterans of past and present for their sacrifices. But that wasn't always what veterans could expect after their service.
When we landed in Washington, people were cussing, swearing at us, spitting on us.
Did not get the recognition for having put their lives on the line and doing their duty for this country. And I don't want that to happen to any other veteran.
Francis Hebert is a Vietnam veteran who came back to that hostility. However, when he arrived in Fargo, things were different.
But when I landed in Fargo, it wasn't that way, because there's been a lot of people from this area that didn't make it back from Vietnam.
And in their memory, and to honor the soldiers serving now, Francis carries the flag that'll be passed from person to person crossing the country.
We believe in our soldiers out there signing their life on a blank check, basically is what it is. You know, no guarantee they're coming back home. You know, walking anyway. You know, what are the odds of war?
But this tour isn't just about recognizing sacrifice. It's also to raise awareness of mental anguishes like PTSD.
When you come back with wounds that are seen, you come back with wounds that are unseen.
Soldier that comes back, they're too proud to seek help. They're self-centered, egotistical. They figure they can do it on their own, but they can't.
In the end, Francis can't save them all, but he can carry that flag, hoping that his message is heard. In West Fargo, Clint DeRose, Valley News Live.
100% of the money raised from the ride goes to local veterans, and Francis received the flag at today's ceremony and will leave for Watertown tomorrow morning. Another day, another power outage in Moorhead, but this one was not caused by a squirrel like yesterday's. Moorhead Public Services says an underground fault caused the outage, and this one lasted about 2 hours between 2:15 and 4:20 today over in South Moorhead. Around 1,150 customers were impacted by it. Minnesota regulators are about to start a series of 22 public meetings on an oil pipeline project that opponents have dubbed the next Dakota Access Pipeline struggle. The dashed line in this picture shows where the Enbridge Energy would like their new line to go to replace its aging Line 3 pipeline that was built in the 60s and is shown by the solid red line. The first meeting about the Line 3 pipeline replacement project will happen over in Bagley at the Rice Lake Community Center from 10 to 1 Tuesday, June 6th. All-in-one recycling, it's coming to Fargo Moorhead, and starting tomorrow and Tuesday, both cities will be out delivering the new recycling carts. Now, you won't start using the new recycling carts until July 3rd, so keep on using the current blue bins and make sure you're separating your recyclables until then. It is graduation season. This was the graduation ceremony for Davies High School. The group heard from multiple student speakers and administrators and featured a slideshow of the class's accomplishments. Fargo North and Fargo South also held their graduation today, and the class from Woodrow Wilson graduated on Friday. This was the tweet sent out by Superintendent of Moorhead Public Schools, Dr. Lynn Kovash, from the Moorhead Senior High graduation. Those graduating were reminded of their school district's favorite saying before leaving the commencement: once a spud, always a spud. Now, as you know, thousands of students walked across the stage to receive their high school diplomas today and over the last couple of weeks. But Valley News Team's Ryan Laughlin shares the journey of one high school graduate from a refugee camp across the world now to the Red River Valley.
This is Manuka Rai.
Increase the volume.
She goes by Jyoti.
My brother wanted to name me Jyoti, and it's kind of funny. And my father named me Manuka, not to make him sad or anything. They started calling me Jyoti.
She's had her fair share of challenges to overcome.
Our family was in a refugee camp.
She says in the late 1980s, her family was forced out of Bhutan to a refugee camp in Nepal. But things got harder for Jyoti.
But I would ache like all night, all day, and it got worse.
Retinoblastoma, a common form of eye cancer in children. It had already taken one of her eyes when she was an infant. A few years later, the cancer was back, taking her sight completely.
The hospital was like 8 hours away from our camp.
She had beaten the cancer, but it had taken her eyes. She was sent to India alone to learn Braille. Then she came to a foreign country, barely knowing English.
I was nervous, but I had my para with me.
She learned the language, learned the layout of the school, and is now graduating as a 4.0 student. But what drives Jody?
Some of my past helps me. My dad always wanted us to be good.
Jyoti's father died during her second cancer fight. She suspects he had a heart attack in the refugee camp where there is little medical treatment.
He always said that we should always give back to the society and our country. He always encouraged us.
We have finally arrived at this day.
Today, Jyoti has the honor of speaking at graduation.
It was my first day at Red River.
No parents in the stands, her mom halfway around the world.
What I think is it's necessary as a human being to adapt.
Her hope is she can make her family proud, her father included.
Embrace the new and strange as you leave Red River and continue your journey.
From Grand Forks, Ryan Laughlin, Valley News Live.
Jyoti lives with her siblings and her uncle in Grand Forks. She's going to UND in the fall, and she has plans to visit her mother as soon as 2018 back in Nepal.